Let us try to understand the concept of finding the remainders using basic remainder theorem. So in order to understand this, let us start with an example. Let's say that I have some 17 multiplied by 23, and if I am dividing this with, let's say, 12, and I'm curious to know what will be my remainder, and this is how I show it. I don't want the quotient here, I need the remainder, so I have just kept a straight line with R written here, so that I need the remainder here. Now let us try to understand how to approach towards the remainder. If I'll talk about 17 here, if I'll focus on 17, I can write 17 as 12 plus 5. This 17 is equal to 12 plus 5, and this 23 can be written as 12 plus 11. 12 plus 11 will give me 23, and again I have the same thing, whole divided by 12, and I still need the remainder, so nothing else changed. I have just written 17 as 12 plus 5 and 23 as 12 plus 11. Now let us multiply them and let's see what result do we have here. So this will give me, I'll actually distribute, I'll multiply 12 with this 12, and again this 12 with an 11, this 5 with 12, and this 5 again with an 11. So finally I'll have here, this will be equal to 12 times 12 plus 12 times 11 plus 5 times 12 plus 5 times 11. I have just expanded this, and whole thing divided by 12, and I'm still in search for my remainder. Now let us split this individually. So I'll have here 12, let me use the same color, 12 times 12 divided by 12 plus, again I'll have 12 times 11, then I'll have here, I'll divide it by 12, let me write the numerators first, 5 times 12 plus 5 times 11, and everything here is divided with a 12. I have written down everything individually, and I'm still searching for my remainder. Now see this first term that I am writing here, 12 times 12 divided by 12. Now will this ever give me any remainder? The remainder will be 0 here, because I know that 12 ones are 12, so 12 will be cancelled out. So I'll have 12 as my quotient, but the remainder here, in this case will be 0. If I'll see here, again I can divide up and down with 12, so I'll have 11 as my quotient, but I won't get a remainder from here. My remainder will still be 0 from here. Same thing for here itself, 12 again divided, gone. I'll have 5 as my quotient, and I'll get 0 as my remainder. But what about this last term here? This last term has 5 times 11, which is equal to 55. This 5 times 11 is 55. Whole thing divided with a 12, and I still need the remainder here. This 55, again I can write it in a multiple of 12 as 12 fours are 48, so 12 times 4 plus of 7. This whole thing, this 55 I have written down as 12 times 4 plus 7, and the whole thing I'm trying to divide it with a 12 to find my remainder. Again I'll split this, I'll try to split this once again. So I'll have here 12 times 4 divided by 12 plus 7 upon 12, and I need to find the remainder. I can divide here by 12 and I'll get 4 as a quotient, but I won't get any remainder from here. The remainder will be 0. But 7 upon 12, since 7 is lesser than 12, so I will get 0 as my quotient, and this whole 7 as my remainder. This whole 7 will act as my remainder. So this is basically 7 upon 12 remainder, which is actually 7 itself. So we have started with 17 times 23 divided by 12, and finally we went down to 7 upon 12. That is, I got 7 as my remainder in the whole process. Now let us try to understand this whole process in a much simpler way. So here itself, if it is 17 times 23 divided by 12, how am I getting this 5 and 11? Let us try to decrease the number of steps and let us try to directly approach 5 times 11 here. How can I approach 5? If I'll divide 17 with a 12, I know that I'm still lacking for a 5 in order to reach 17, because if I'll reach 12, that is divisible, I need another set of 5 to reach 17. So I can say that 5 is my remainder when I'll divide 17 with a 12. So this I can write down as 5 times, again how will I get 11 here? If I'll divide 23 with a 12, my remainder will be 11. So this will be 5 times 11 and whole thing divided with a 12, and we need to find the remainder here. Now when 5 is multiplied by 11, I'll get 55. I have to still divide the whole thing with the 12 to get my remainder here. 55 divided by 12, I'll get 7 as my remainder. So this is how we find the remainder using the concept of basic remainder theorem.